Good afternoon. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel. As I continue on the series, the week that was college football history in review, the 1953 college football season. As I continue to recap the games that were played on a weekly basis, now I'm resumed with week number 9, November 14th, 1953. Yale beat Princeton 26-24 as sophomore tailback Royce Flippin accounted for 2 touchdowns as Tigers pounced on Yale 17-0 by halftime, but recoveries of 2 kickoff fumbles allowed Eli's amazingly to control ball for all 42 plays of third quarter and take 20-17 lead on touchdowns by quarterback Bob Brink, halfback Pete Shears, and quarterback Jim Lopez. Brink tallied to cap 68-yard march after Yale had received second half kickoff. Star Princeton fullback and future Army head coach Homer Smith lost fumble on ensuing kickoff at his 37-yard line, and Shears ended short drive with 2 yards, a touchdown to lift Yale to within 17-14. Eli's best line operative, sophomore tackle Phil Tarasovic, lowered boom on blocking back Tigers Art Pitts to shake loose fumble at 33-yard line. Lopez followed with a 25-yard dash behind fine blocking to give Yale lead at 20-17. So Flippin always clutched against the Bulldogs, raced 68 yards in fourth quarter to regain a 24-20 margin for Nassau. Yale next called upon its secret weapon, unknown track man turned in Larry Reno, to rejuvenate its ordinary passing attack. In last minute, Reno raced into the open to catch Lopez's 44-yard aerial and was downed on 12-yard line. Lopez followed with winning touchdown pass to halfback Bob Poole, who took it at goal line 23 seconds from in. It was Yale's first win over its Big Three rivals from New Jersey in 7 seasons. Meanwhile, Army defeated Pennsylvania 21-14, trying to keep alive hopes for Coach George Munger's 16th straight winning year in his last season. Pennsylvania Quakers failed to keep up with Cadets Ironman and Nailbiter as Army center linebacker Norm Stephen grabbed fumble at Penn 20-yard line and turned matters over to fullback Jerry Lodge, who plowed over on 4th down, his 6th plunge in 7 plays. So in the second quarter, Quakers defensive end Jim Castle made 34-yard interception return to 8-yard line that led to fullback Joe Vargas, first of set of 2 short touchdown runs, each of which would tie the score. So Cadets went up 14-7 when halfback Tommy Bell charged 32 yards, an option pitch out to 5-yard line, and halfback Pat Bell scored on same play to the other side. After Vargas tied it again early in the fourth quarter after 67-yard march, Army used quarterback Pete Vance's 27-yard pass to Bell to set up U-Bell's 9-yard winning touchdown run with 10:32 to go. Interceptions by linebacker Steven and defensive back U-Bell clinched it. Shutout was performed by Maryland, 38-0 over Mississippi, exploding for 24 points in second quarter. Slow starting Maryland was led by quarterback Bernie Filoni, who scored 2 touchdowns before sustained stampede over number 11 Mississippi. Now, only scoring threats by Rebels came in first quarter as fullback Bobby McCool slammed to 2-yard line, but after sack pushed Ole Miss back to 7-yard line, defensive back Filoni made great catch of end zone interception. Filoni's pickoff of Ole Miss quarterback Lee Paisley was one of 6 interceptions by Swift Terrapins against nation's 4th rated statistical passing team. Maryland fullback Ralph Felton charged 41 yards for touchdown behind spectacular feat in air wipeout block of Rebels defensive end George Harris by halfback Roddy Waller. He broke open contest and came between Filoni's pair of scores. Short quarterback sneak with center linebacker John Irvine returned interception 32 yards to 2-yard line and 9-yard run. Sub fullback kicker Dick Bilski booted field goal on last play of the second quarter for 24-0 lead. and ran for touchdown in the fourth quarter. So rout by unbeaten number 2 Terps averaged 19, avenged the 1952's 21-14 upset loss at Ole Miss. Mississippi's Swiftbacks were stonewalled by Maryland line that was led by defensive tackle Stan Jones and finished with only 83 yards rushing. South Carolina beat West Virginia 20-14. The Gamecocks quarterback Johnny Gramlin ran for 2 touchdowns and passed for another to end 13-game winning streak of Mountaineers of West Virginia. So additionally, South Carolina gained key fumbles by employing a 6-1-1-3 defense to stop West Virginia University split T. Carolina's unusual defense had its guards set wide outside tackles with a pair of linebackers filling the middle gaps. Expected to fill air with passes, Grambling threw only 8 times and instead used Carolina's 186 yards running game. Gamecocks halfback Blackie Kincaid set up first quarter score with 53-yard punt return. Trailing 13-0, West Virginia University went 86 yards late in the second quarter, mostly on passes by quarterback Freddie Wyatt, with touchdown coming on 47-yard pass to end Joe Papetti. The decisive South Carolina score came in the third quarter after the interception by fullback defensive back Bill Warman, one of only 2 completions on afternoon by Grambling. So halfback Gene Wilson made nifty 25-yard sprint with flat pass in third quarter. Defensive end Papetti dashed 40 yards down the sideline to 5-yard line with interception of Grambling. So halfback Joe Marconi powered over from 1 yard out. West Virginia University expired in the last 2 minutes of fourth quarter when Carolina defensive end Clyde Bennett picked off Wyatt's pass at Cox's 8-yard line. Alabama beat Georgia Tech 13-6. Alabama failed to catch its only pass attempt, but picked off 2 throws by Georgia Tech freshman quarterback Wade Mitchell and carving upset win. Outstanding Crimson Tide defense was led by guard Charlie Eckerly and halfback defensive back Bobby Luna. Subs halfback Bill Oliver and quarterback Albert Elmore scored Crimson Tide's touchdowns. Oliver's touchdown run came in first quarter, and kicker Luna put Tide ahead 7-0. Engineers benefited from 30 yards in penalties on 55-yard second quarter touchdown march, capped by fullback Glenn Turner's touchdown run. But quarterback kicker Pepper Rogers' conversion try was blocked by center Ralph Kerrigan, one of many defensive stars of Alabama. So it looked for a long time that 7-6 lead would hold up. But backup, fullback, linebacker Rocky Stone made interception return to Georgia Tech 48-yard line in fourth quarter. By this time, Yellow Jackets were suffering from line injuries and Bama pounded interior in 11 grueling plays. Powered by Luna and fullback Tommy Lewis to Elmore's touchdown sneak from inches out. Auburn and Georgia played against each other in Columbus, Georgia, where Auburn beat Georgia by a score of 39-18. The Tigers made big plays to tame Bulldogs first time since 1942. Quarterback Bobby Freeman went 95 yards for punt touchdown return. Halfback Bob James returned interception 77 yards. So quarterback Vince Dooley hit in Vince Nordorm with 13-yard touchdown after racing 65 yards on the punt return and threw 63 yards pass to end Jimmy Long to help Auburn seal its most successful year since 1942. So with quarterback Zeke Bukowski banged up, Georgia, its season crumbling, lost its 3rd straight on way to school record to date, 8 losses. Brett managed a brief 6-6 deadlock by connecting with his favorite target in Johnny Carson on a long bomb that went 64 yards to Bulldogs touchdown. Georgia fullback Bob Clemens roared 53 yards to set up his own short touchdown plunge that created another brief tie at 12-12. Freeman quickly took over from there with his touchdown sneak and long punt touchdown return. Michigan State beat Michigan 14-6 as mighty Michigan State clinched tie atop Big Ten, but question of time remained. While Spartans now were cleared of conference probation, would sanctions be lifted in time for Rose Bowl tie-breaking vote if Illinois could win over Wisconsin to remain in first place, deadlocked with Spartans? Michigan State quarterback Earl Morrall flipped 5-yard touchdown pass to halfback Jim Ellis in second quarter, and halfback Bert Zagers in for halfback Billy Wells, who who was recovering from pneumonia, tossed his first collegiate pass for a 4 yards touchdown to end Ellis Duckett in third quarter. Defensive back Zagers contributed 2 interceptions in the second, set up 56-yard drive to his touchdown pass for 14-0 lead in the third quarter. So Ellis lost fumble to Wolverines guard Dick Bison on dangerously adventurous punt return at own 4-yard line. So Michigan quarterback kicker Lou Badaki sneaked for touchdown, but his kick went wide. Michigan State University seemed to be unraveling when it fumbled, but recovered on first 2 plays after kickoff. But Murrow tried third down pass. Wolverines defensive end Bob Top intercepted and lateral to halfback defensive back Dan Klein to return the Spartans to 24-yard line, with time began to fade. So Klein's incompletion on 4th down from 14-yard line followed Michigan State University defensive end Don Dahoney, second tackle for the loss. This time, 3rd down sack of Badaki. Spoiled late big. Wisconsin defeated Illinois 34-7 as Wisconsin put its fate in its own hands, even though Michigan State earned at least tied for Big Ten title with win over Michigan. Meanwhile, number 3 Illinois, previously undefeated in the conference play, fell out of the Big Ten lead. Illinois got early touchdown from fullback Ken Miller for 7-0 advantage on easy, perhaps too easy, 66-yard march. Wisconsin played its strongest hand, springing 383 yards ground game, led by Alan Amici at the fullback position, who ran for 145 yards on 17 carries, and halfback Harlan Carl, who ran for 103 yards on 7 carries and attempting only 3 passes. Carl sped 40 yards to second, scored a touchdown that put Wisconsin ahead for good at 14-7. Badgers sophomore quarterback defensive back Jim Miller contributed interception and tallied twice on short sneaks, including tying score at 7-7 in the first quarter. Halfback Mickey Bates' 39-yard run with screen pass late in the third quarter gave Illini their first hope, the last hope. But quarterback Elry Falkenstein's 4th down pass from 33-yard line fell incomplete. Down by 7 points, Illini was under power of Badgers' 20-point fourth quarter. That included halfback Jerry Witt's 41-yard touchdown dash. Illini halfback J.C. Caroline was held to 83 yards on 25 carries, but still broke Amici's old conference season rushing yards record of 774 yards. Colorado beat Nebraska 14-10, with coach Bill Glassford agonized on Nebraska bench with gallstone attack. Cornhuskers were twice pained with failure within Colorado 10-yard line fourth quarter, including a failed stab inside Buffalo's 1-yard line in dying moments of the game. After Buffalo's wingback Frank Bernardi raced 30 yards with punt return to set up workhorse trap play runner fullback Emerson Wilson, who has 112 yards rushing on 22 carries and a touchdown, the first quarter touchdown dive. Slumbering Huskers awoke in second quarter as Nebraska traveled 80 yards to quarterback Johnny Bodogna's sneak that tied it 7-7. Cornhuskers looked as though they would get another touchdown in third quarter, advancing deep into Colorado territory, but linebacker Wilson threw Huskers halfback John Williams for 7-yard loss on third down to force field goal by fullback kicker Ray Novak. Novak's three-pointer put Nebraska ahead 10-7. Colorado retaliated immediately for what turned out to be winning points as in Gary Knefak nabbed 45-yard pass from tailback Carroll Hardy and pulled in 4-yard touchdown pass from wingback Frank Bernardi in third quarter. So Nebraska began its faithful last 9-play scoring threat from its 27-yard line. With first down at the Bison 5-yard line, Huskers barely moved 2 yards ahead in 3 cracks. So fullback Novak was given 4th down touchdown try and appeared ready to knife over when Colorado guard Dick Knowlton and center linebacker Dave Hill chopped him down with 105 showing on the clock. Houston beat Baylor 37-7. Missouri Valley Conference interloper Houston used 382 yards rushing and superior line play of end Marvin Durenberger, who blocked punt return by end Ben Wilson for fourth quarter touchdown. Tackles Bob Schuped and Buddy Gillios and guard Wayne Shoemaker to knock wholly unprepared Baylor Bears from AP top 10. Cougars jumped to 13-0 first quarter lead. Cougars jumped to a 13-0 first quarter lead on touchdown runs by halfback Don Hargrove and fullback Jack Patterson. Houston guard kicker Rob Cray, who hit a second quarter field goal, and 2 plays later, in George Hines' interception of Baylor quarterback Cotton Davidson led to another touchdown. Chupe threw Bears backs for 25 yards in losses on 3 straight plays in the third quarter. So Baylor halfback Jerry Coody scored the belated touchdown in fourth quarter. So thrilled was oilman Hugh Roy Cullen that he pulled out his checkbook and endowed Houston to the tune of $2.25 million. Next, UCLA beat Washington 22-6. Rare driving rainstorm in Los Angeles kept Coliseum crowd down to 13,302, but it included hardy visitors from Greece, King Paul and Queen Frederica. Washington Huskies mushed through mud effectively in first quarter, but UCLA took over in second quarter, retaining its top Pacific Coast Conference with Stanford 54-0 out-of-conference winners over San Jose State. Bruins little fullback Pete Daly raced up middle for 45-yard gain to Washington 28-yard line, and tailback Paul Cameron scored on an 8-yard run for 7-0 halftime lead. So in third quarter, Cameron added another score. UCLA blocking back Terry Dubay poured through to block Huskies punt for safety. UCLA's weak wingback Bill Stitz added touchdown for 22-0 edge before Jim Houston tallied Washington's only touchdown in fourth quarter. And finally, Arizona State beat Brigham Young 26-18. By 2006, Arizona State University had attracted largest college enrollment in U.S. But in 1953, Arizona State College of Tempe still was something of stepchild in Western collegiate football worlds. Injury-riddled ASC leveled its season record by jumping to 14-0 halftime edge and staying ahead. Sun Devils halfback Dick Herman, who happily finished without bruises for the first time this season, chipped in runs of 48 and 11 yards before halfback Danny Silver ended 82-yard march with short touchdown plunge in the first quarter. ASC and John Hallen quickly hauled in 30-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Dick Mackey. So newly off injured list, and when they collaborated again on 11-yard jump pass touchdown in fourth quarter, Allen had new school touchdown receiving record. Cougars racked up 442 yards to 298 yards offensive edge by sticking to running game that frequently burned the Sun Devils. So BYU halfbacks Reed Stowworthy and Dick Felt constantly burst up middle for big games. Felt dashed 68 yards to set up touchdown steep by quarterback Levon Setterfield. In third quarter, Stallworthy went 12 and 48 yards before punching it over himself in the fourth quarter. Later, he capped scoring with 78-yard explosion. So that concludes a look at the games that were played on November 14th, 1953, week number 9. Now let's look at the AP poll as of November 16th. At the time, Notre Dame was number 1, followed by Maryland, number 2, Michigan State, number 3, Oklahoma, number 4, and UCLA at number 5. The rest of the top 10 rounded out as Texas at number 6, Illinois at number 7, Wisconsin at number 8, Southern California at number 9, 10 Rice. The rest of the top 20, Alabama at number 11, Georgia Tech at number 12, Kentucky at number 13, Auburn at number 14, Duke at number 15, Stanford at 16, Texas Tech 17, South Carolina 18, 19, West Virginia at number 20, Iowa. So that concludes a look at the college football history and review. The week that was college football history and review, the 1953 college football season. Hope you enjoyed my analysis, my recap of the games that were played on week 9 of November the 14th. So that concludes this video. Subscribe, like, comment. I'll do a video tomorrow of the same part series of college football. Until then, talk to you tomorrow.